Alert, alert, this is Charlotte Shotgun.
It's Joel Tatum, and it's that Little Gay Talk Show.
All the way from Houston, Texas.
Let's get into it, girl. I can't hear you, girl. What's going on? You know what? I'm turning. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Good evening. There we go.
Oh, there we go. I hit 2 and 3 instead of 2 and 4.
Good evening, boys and girls and creatures of the night.
What's going on? It's October.
It's Halloween season.
It's Halloween
officially.
Or for some of you gays out there, it's pumpkin. It's pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice season.
Pumpkin spice season.
I love her from the Spice Girls.
White girls across America
They're
are losing
shaking
their
in their
minds.
hugs.
Run into Starbucks to get pumpkin spice lattes.
Their PSLs. Their PSLs.
You know, I thought about getting one just so I could see what it tastes like.
It tastes like pumpkin spice.
I'm sure it tastes like pumpkin spice, but I just want to taste what a spark. Well, what the big deal is? Why everybody's so?
I mean, because it's there. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good collective flavors. A little mosh pod.
I just want to know why Tiffany and Apple and Dakota and Morgan. I just want to know why they love pumpkin spice
because they never had flavor in their life. Their whole lives they've been eating unseasoned chicken, and they get this little leeway. What is it? Like 2 months out of the year where they get to taste flavor for the first time.
Well, I feel like that they all usually have like Hispanic housekeepers, so I'm sure they're throwing some flavor in there somewhere. There's got to be a jalapeno somewhere, but I think one jalapeno on a piece of chicken would just like blow their minds.
Or even a piece of cheese.
I know, right?
Cheese? Like there's something else that exists aside from American cheese?
Yeah, like pepper jack cheese. Oh my God.
Or monster cheese.
Yeah, that would send them to the hospital, girl.
shit in their drawers. The drawers.
Oh, good Lord.
The drawers. How do you say that word?
Drawers.
Drawers.
Or draws.
Draws. Shit in their drawers. That's my first time ever using that word. Look at me. Vocabulary expanded.
Well, happy show day. What's going on with you, girl?
Happy show day. I like that. We're good. We're here. We're queer. We're drinking.
Of course.
Today's show has been sponsored to you by HEB's wine margarita.
Which
pineapple, jalapeno, lime.
Which, once again, I'm not tasting any jalapeno.
I mean, it's there.
Is it, though?
I mean, it's there.
It's like, it's like pumpkin spice latte without the pumpkin spice.
It's like pumpkin spice latte without the cinnamon.
Without the cinnamon. Is there cinnamon in?
Yeah, there's cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, pumpkin, obviously. They're not just putting straight up pumpkin in there. They got to put all that shit in there.
Well,
anise. What is anise?
Yeah, but it doesn't have actual pumpkin in it. It's just the spices.
No, there's pumpkin. There's a pumpkin. Yeah.
No, because it's all the spices that you use to make pumpkin pie.
Yeah, but there's pumpkin in there. If you look at the syrup, I worked at Starbucks.
There's actual pumpkin in.
Yeah, I thought it was like a pumpkin syrup.
I thought it was just like the spice. Well, the pumpkin syrup is nothing more than the spices.
But
right?
there is like if you open it, you have to use it within 7 days.
Really? Because I'm like.
Well, I mean, there's so much sugar and so much preservatives in there. Then I guess.
Because I would think,
in a sense, there's probably like 1% pumpkin.
Yeah, because I think when you either do it yourself or you buy it out of the can, it's just plain pumpkin. There's no spices in it. So I thought that pumpkin spice was just all the spices that you use.
No, there's actual pumpkin. It tastes like pumpkin.
I never.
You never had one.
No, I've never had one. But
they have something that's called pumpkin spice nitro brew. It's really good.
Oh, girl, it was. No.
Did you have it yet?
No, I don't even want it.
It's pretty good.
Oh, good Lord, no. I mean, I was. But not too long ago,
latte?
not too long ago, when they started just allowing breweries in Houston, so to speak.
Oh no, I'm talking about this is an actual coffee that they have in a keg, and it's a brew. It's not like it's not beer.
Oh, I thought you thought because they do have a pumpkin spice beer.
Yeah, I know that for sure. No, it's literally like a pumpkin. It's like iced coffee with pumpkin in it, and then it's like inside of a keg, and they pour it. and then they put a sweet foam on top.
Oh, okay. Because when you say brew, I kept thinking of a beer.
Yeah, but I mean, like, yeah, I understand it, but also coffee is brewed.
So, well, I just never think
it's a very.
Well, I don't drink. I drink coffee once every blue moon.
Yeah,
and so I just think of coffee as just being coffee.
Yeah, you're right.
But when I think of a brew, I always think of a beer. Because,
yeah, beer.
Because beers are so fancy now.
They're like its own alcohol.
Yeah, they're so fancy now with all the flavors.
Can I have a sour IPA in a chilled mug?
Not too hoppy if it's possible, because I'm all about the barley, and I'm like, it's a fucking beer. Just drink the damn beer.
Like, no foam, please, no foam.
Well, you can't have beer without foam.
I know.
That just looks weird. It looks watery.
White people.
Oh, I don't want to call out white people on that. Because I know white gays are not drinking brews. We are not drinking super. You go to any gay bar, I mean, you see some beers.
Yeah, it's usually like Mick Ultra. That's or what is it, Miller Lite.
But that's mostly for our lesbian friends.
No, it's literally like the little gays have that. They, with a little, especially at the Eagle, they have like the can, the aluminum can, and like y'all look so. It's like a little twink. White boy, and he has like a little Michelob Ultra. I'm like, yeah, I bet your mama drinks that too, right, baby?
So it's not like a lot of gays are running out buying fancy beers. That's just
no. It's just for those. I think I drink fancy beers.
It's hipster. Let's be honest. It's for a completely hipster crowd.
Yeah, or like Superman,
like with the super fancy, super manly man with the super fancy beards. And the tiny little skinny bodies that you're like, don't you eat?
Like, this beard feeds me.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, good Lord. The beard is bigger than their entire body.
He's got a beard and I'm trying to wet it.
Oh, good Lord.
You know that's from? It's from WAP.
Oh.
It's a lyric.
I watched that video one time, said, oh, this is going to be a thing. And then I went, I'm done. So
it was a thing,
and it was a thing.
I listen to the song every like at least once a week. Like hey, or I listen to Chromatica by Lady Gaga too once a week. Rain on Me.
Well, I saw the gay version of WAP on Facebook videos, which I have to say I love.
Oh, the one with like
the dance video, yes.
Where it's like a big guy. Yeah, I know him. I think it's Mac Daddy. Shout out to Mac Daddy.
I think so, and I'm like, okay, all right. These bussies are all over the place. All over the place, girl.
For real, the whole thing. I bet you everybody douched before that video.
Why? It was a video full of bottoms. Ain't no top in that video.
You never know the producers.
It was a video full of bottoms. Ain't no tops anywhere near that.
That's true. There was no VPLs anywhere.
There was no BPLs at all. No.
A lot of booty. A lot of bodacious booty. Booty rocking everywhere.
All the people behind the scenes were power bottoms. That's who they were. They were super masculine, but definitely power bottoms.
Power bottoms. Don't they know bottoming.
What?
There's nothing wrong with bottoming.
Oh, I didn't. Oh,
I know.
There's no. I didn't. I'm not judging.
No, I'm just kidding.
I am not judging in any way, shape, or form.
I always tell my mom, only God can judge me, and you believe in Him. She gets so mad.
Oh my God.
She's like, I'm going to pray for you. I'm like, okay, please. Please. Someone has to.
You just tell her you're on it. I can get on my knees too.
I pray to something else.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Oh God.
Exactly. You know what? I'm not gonna. I have studied all kinds of religions, and the only one that I got along with was Wiccan, but it's too expensive. Buying all that stuff and the potions and the incense, building an altar. It's just, girl, it's I don't have
That's
the budget.
A lot of work.
I don't have the budget for that.
You just gotta make do what you make do. If you ever go to the Dollar Tree, they always got all the Wiccan stuff that you can make.
At the Dollar Tree?
Yeah, they have all that.
I'm not buying no discounted stuff, no discounted Wiccan products.
If I'm getting that good shit, I'm getting that good shit.
Yeah, because I need to make sure that spell goes off properly.
Right.
You know, I don't want a love spell to turn into like
a crack spell.
A crack. Well, basically put a crack spell. Or having somebody outside my house stalking me.
You're like, oh shit. It's like you use the scissors to cut someone's picture, but you accidentally like cut someone's finger that's in the picture, then the patient's finger is in love with you.
Well, buying all the ingredients and everything else, I don't want my eye of newt coming from the dollar store. You have to go to a specialty store
Frog
for
legs
that.
from the dollar store.
You have to go to a specialty store for that. You don't buy that shit at the dollar store.
You're 100% right.
And I studied Buddhism for a little bit and everything. So,
You've been around the block with religion.
I've been around the block, and, I consider myself somewhat spiritual.
Yeah. Spiritual in your own way, I guess. I think I'm spiritual in my own way as well.
I think life holds so many possibilities.
You have to stay open.
So you just got to keep an open mind. You never know. Good Lord. You could pass away and end up in another dimension or coming back as somebody or a dog or something like. They all had something to say about life after death.
Absolutely. They all have like sort of the same message, but described differently, or even kind of like the same like scenarios with different people, if that makes sense. So I think it's just like maybe passed down through so many generations, and then this way went this way, that way went that way. Then it's all like sort of the same, but not the same. But some people are so egotistical that they can't fathom to accept somebody else's religion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the truth. That's why I literally look at it like that. I'm just like, whatever, you believe in you, I believe in me, and we can do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't criticize anybody's religion. I just know that certain religions don't really hold me up to a good light, so to speak. So those are religions that I tend to stay away from, even though some people in those religions are really trying.
Yeah,
and I get it
to an extent, though, because if they were really trying, they would be really trying. But I don't know.
Yeah, so it's kind
of. My parents are super religious now. They weren't before. My parents used to let me watch South Park, drink Four Locos at like a young age, and now they're just like, well, what you do is a little bit of bad territory, and like the way that you dress is a little bit. So, like, you shouldn't be wearing skulls. Like, you shouldn't be celebrating Halloween. I'm like, bitch, you're literally the only big holiday we celebrated at our house was Halloween and Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're over here trying to tell me that I shouldn't celebrate Halloween anymore? Hypocrite.
I know. My stepmother got remarried, and she remarried a minister. And every time I look at her Facebook page, now it's some Bible script.
Oh my God!
Right,
from a woman. What my mother is.
I know, from a woman who didn't set foot in church for many, many years, and
you did say that your parents weren't religious until That's gotta suck, though. I mean, that's also props to them for trying something different and sticking to it. Like, I'm happy that my parents are super religious now because, they have a little bit of structure in their life, and my dad is a little bit more accepting of what I am. But who knows?
I think there is a bit of structure there.
It's like a sort of like a I want to say like army. Like, it creates structure for them because my parents are so disorganized, but. Since moving out, which was like, I got kicked out of my house when I was like, oh my God, almost 10 years ago. When I was 21, and I am now 26. So within those 5 years, my parents have, completely like turned around. Like, their house is cleaner, their house is more organized. My mom is less of an alcoholic. I used to sit back with my mom and drink all day. I was like 19 years old. I'm like, can you buy a bottle of sangria? And she's like, yeah, let's get shit faced. But now she's over here like little Miss Guadalupe.
Well, I think my stepmother still drinks. So, but she's not as I don't think not. I think
my mom doesn't drink in public.
But
now.
You know what? I always find it odd that with my father, she drank a lot with him. And, she followed along with whatever he was doing.
Yeah.
And now with the new husband, she's doing the same thing. And I'm like...
Yeah, that's kind of suck. That kind of sucks, though, because it
kind of
like paints them in a light saying, like, make your decisions, lady.
So, and I'm not here to criticize.
No,
whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
But I always feel like that, when you get into a relationship, you kind of wrap yourself up in the other person.
Yeah, that's so true.
And I'm like,
that's also like their way of processing things from them being a little bit older and being part of that generation. Like, for me, like, if I have a partner, like, I'm be like, you do your own thing, let me do my own thing, and then let's go on from there. You know what I mean? And it's just like, if you're successful at what I do, if I'm successful at what I do, like, you know, let's continue from there. But for now, it's just like, I'm not looking for all that. I'm trying to be single.
You know, and I'm confused by all of that because I've been fiercely single for a long time. And
fiercely single.
I am not one of those people who was a relationship person.
Yeah, me neither. I've always been single for a long time.
Yeah, so I've been fiercely single for a long time, and I've enjoyed it. I enjoy being able to live my life the way I want to.
I enjoy to something that I really enjoy, and which is also the biggest flaw, then it's also like the biggest what is it called, downfall of being gay, is the hookup culture. Because I love just hooking up with someone and then, you know, never talking to them again. But that's also like, we're so programmed to be like that now, and it's just like, where are the mental connections? Like, you know what I mean?
I'm trying to think, is it worse than when I was growing up? Because with social media and everything else, with the internet and everything else, it's easier to hook up.
It is easier. Well,
but at the same time, you're just literally hooking up. Whereas when I'm coming up, you had to go to the bar. You had to get dressed up. You had to go to the bar. You had to actually talk to people and all this other stuff to convince them to come to your bedroom. So.
Like, get your ass over here.
Exactly.
Come bust these cheeks.
Yeah.
I mean, now it's just like, you can put a blank profile up and be like, open hole. Come get it.
Yeah, I either get a hole or a dick pic. And it's like, okay, was really hoping to have a little bit of a conversation, but
I know sometimes it's like that, because sometimes you're like low key lonely, and you just want that connection with someone, and then you talk to someone, you're like, okay, come over, then y'all fuck, and then that's it. I'm like, so do you like Pokemon?
But I also was the type who was, you know, like you said, I was also, well, my version of the hookup culture. So, you know, I would hook up with guys, but you know, I would hook up, you know, we would maybe see each other once or twice, and then that was it, and then we moved on or what have you.
Yeah.
But, you know, if the sex was good, you know, we enjoyed the sex.
Have you hooked up with a lot of people?
I'd say that I have.
Can you count on two hands?
2 hands, 2 feet, maybe. I'm going to say in my lifetime, it's less than 100.
Okay.
It's less than 100. Maybe even less than 50. Maybe.
That's very good.
Yeah, less than 50. And I have had friends who were up there in number. I mean,
I'm up there with numbers.
I mean, I have a friend who, by the time he was 40, he had over 2,000. I mean,
oh shit!
He had a man at his house almost every day of the week.
That was me for a minute.
Almost every day of the week until he turned 40.
Jeez,
and
good for him.
Even then,
sometimes it's like, you know, people go to the gym 2 a day. Sometimes they like 2 dicks a day.
And he lived right down the street from the bars.
Yeah.
And he lived in a studio apartment, bed right next to the front door.
Period.
So
sounds like the life.
So he would come in. They would hit it
and quit it.
Hit it and quit it, and move on. And he was proud.
I mean, yeah. I mean, same. And I go through my phases and stuff, but as of right now, I'm a little modest lady, and I'm not trying to get into all that.
I'm going through the same phase. I'm like,
actually, that's a lie, because I feel like sometimes I don't even know where I stand. I don't even try to look for it, then it just looks for me. Like it's just like, hey, I'm like, hello. I'm over here trying to drink my Jameson and smoke a cigarette, and you're over here trying to, like, you know.
Well, I can tell you right now, porn has taken over my life since quarantine.
Oh yeah,
so, porn. And then okay,
fans only.
And then here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Joel decides he's had enough of sitting in the house. So on a Sunday night, he decides he's at midnight. Sunday night at midnight.
You talking about the other night?
Yeah, Sunday night at midnight. He decides.
Sunday night at midnight.
You know what? I'm gonna take a shower. I'm gonna look cute, and I'm gonna go out for just a couple of hours. That's all I needed. I didn't need to be out for 5-6 hours. I just needed to be out for a couple of hours, and then I'll be home, and then I'll make myself a little snack and go to bed. And we had a good time. I had a good time. I had 3 drinks. They were super loaded. Yes.
They were super loaded.
Have
you seen that? I always talk about this. Have you seen, like, there's a TikTok where it's like, where you go to the straight bar, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, exactly.
When you go to a gay bar, hey girl, how you doing? How's your girl? I'm like, girl,
girl, I've been good.
Like, girl, what'd you say? Like, okay.
And then they're like, oh, look what I did.
Like,
a little.
Like you said, vodka soda, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, bitch.
Where's the soda?
Yeah, it's like, thank you.
You know, there's a, I think it's a meme. It might be a meme, where she is pouring a glass of champagne and she takes a spray bottle of orange juice and just sprays a little orange juice on top to make a mimosa. That's exactly what drinking.
I used to go to a like a, what is it called, like bottomless mimosas. And I don't know if do they have this here.
Oh yes. Well, no, they don't. The TAB says you can't call them that anymore. You can call them anything else but bottomless mimosas. Because bottomless mimosas will
for limit bottomless wine.
Bottomless mimosas, TABC is very tough here.
I know they are.
The liquor laws are very tough here. So calling them bottomless is a no-no. You will get your license yanked immediately.
Yeah.
And I've worked at a place where we had penny mimosas. You buy the glass for like $13.95. You take that home, and then you get refills for a penny.
Oh,
and that's the loophole. So as long as
cool.
So that was the loophole. But every time people will go,
I also heard that you can't use the word open bar. Because I asked someone, they're like, you can't use that word, and I was like,
but I was
rules. I'm from Florida. We're crazy.
Y'all got your own world down there.
But
but you know, when customers would come up to me and go, "So y'all have bottomless mimosas?" No, we don't call them that. Don't come up here calling it that. It is not bottomless mimosas. This is y'all get us in trouble because y'all will go.
Have is a glass that you can buy for $13.95.
Because these dumb bitches will go on Yelp and go, "Oh, girl, I had bottomless mimosas."
Alberto.
And such and such, and then TABC calls you and goes, "No, you cannot do that.
You cannot do that, baby."
They will ride you in a heartbeat. The moment somebody, and all because dumbass people go on Yelp
and they say stuff that they're not supposed to say.
It's like when you had that one customer that a waiter used to like
get them free shit,
and then that waiter gets fired,
and then they
come up to you acting like you were going to do the same thing that the other waiter did, and you're like, "I'm not doing that."
I have that all the time. At Chewy's because people are like, "Well, people don't charge me for queso." I'm like, "Well, those people are no longer with us."
Yes, exactly.
Like, I don't know. I just want to do my job. That's what I tell people. I just want to do my job correctly, and they're like, "Oh, okay, honey."
And then they call for a manager and ask about that. You a dummy. If you were getting it for free, shut your mouth.
And if you should be grateful.
And if you don't see that waiter anymore, it's because whatever they were doing for you, they don't work.
Long gone.
They are gone, and they did it for you for that little dollar. And I've told waiters many times, stop doing that shit. They are not,
because they get used to it. And
not only that, they're not going to tip you any more than what they're not going to tip you any extra. I will see waiters and bartenders like go the extra mile, add a little bit more alcohol, or do this and that, and then bitch that they only gave them 20%. And I'm like, what did you think was going to happen?
You could have gotten like a couple of extra bucks if you would have charged them what you were supposed to charge them, and now you're over here. Like you
gave away a bunch of shit, and all they did was tip you $5.
It's because you're the one giving away all
stupid.
that free shit.
And then you're gonna get fired if the managers find out. You stupid. Don't do that. You're not gonna get anything extra by handing people free shit. They are not gonna reciprocate, and in fact, they're gonna get you in trouble when they go to another waiter and expect the same thing. You're gonna end up getting fired, so don't do it.
I work at Chewy's, and I only work there like 2 days a week. Well, I'm sorry, 1 day every 2 weeks. And I worked like a couple of weeks ago, and situation was they ordered these enchiladas, and they said, "Hey, can I have like this certain kind of queso?" And I was just like, just so you know, it's gonna be like $1 more. And they're like, "Oh well, so and so doesn't charge me $1." And then they're like, "Well, so and so doesn't charge me $1." And I was like, well then, I wouldn't know how to ring it up correctly, but if you want, I can give you $1, and then you can use it towards that. And then they're like, no, that's fine. I'm like, I can talk to my manager. I'm like, maybe I'm doing something incorrectly, but that's how they train me. Like, oh, no, it's fine. We'll pay. I'm like, fuckers. Cheap ass fuckers.
And like I said, it's the dumb ones who will literally go behind that waiter's back and tell him, well, such and such gave it to me for free. Why can't I have it for free now? Well, such and such will no longer work here, and you will pay for it.
I can't wait. Well, I can't wait to go back to Choi's because I heard like 4 people got fired. I feel like I'm gonna get fired too because I only work there once every 2 weeks. Who knows? Update next week, guys.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, no, I don't think they're going to fire me. They just like me there to have me there. I'm like a celebrity when I go there. I'm like, hey, guys. Hey, peasants.
Oh, goodness.
I'm so bad. I work with a friend there. He's a bartender. I'm like, Simeon, my table wants to taste this, and Margarita gives me 4. I'm like...
Well, I heard that the place that I formerly worked is now may start reopening here soon.
Yes.
May start reopening. But there's a part of me, now I'm going to be honest here. There's a part of me that's like, let's see.
Let me not go back to work for 2 weeks to see how it comes out.
Okay.
Maybe a month. Because you never know.
Yeah, exactly.
You might get shut down again. I feel like everything's going to get shut down again. Nothing we can avoid.
Yeah, exactly.
It's supposed to be holiday season, a.k.a. flu season,
yeah,
a.k.a.
exactly.
cold weather, and people are going to be stupid and not wear mask season. It's mask season.
That's why I went out on a Sunday night, because when I called you and I said, how many people are up there? And you said, oh, it's pretty dead. I'm like, perfect.
Yeah, you went at the perfect time because I actually got to talk to you and hang out with you.
But I didn't want to be like elbow to elbow with people because I would have been freaked.
Sometimes it's like that though. It's so annoying.
I would have been reading bitches left to right.
Get out of my
left
way.
to right. Right, bitch, get off me. You don't need to be on top of me like that.
Your mask for the 10th time, you dumb idiot.
So, no. I mean, trying to walk up a set of stairs, girl, I would never go upstairs. If everybody's hanging out on the stairs all on top of each other,
They really are.
I'm like, I'm not going up these stairs.
Like, can you get the fuck out of here? Can you go over there? Like, there is like, what is this? Like a 3,000 square foot area, 2 stories. There's more than enough space for you to go somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
No, leave.
And if it's too many people, maybe go someplace else. JR's is right across the street.
When people complain, well, JR's, they don't care if we wear masks. I'm like, well, baby, then go to JR's. I'll meet you there after I get off. Like, what do you want?
What you should tell them next time is, okay, so when they close down because everybody caught COVID in there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you're going to be bitching about the fact that there's too many people here.
Like, I don't see y'all going to Blur anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
I see none of y'all going to Blur. Y'all so quiet about Blur. But before the second time we shut down, everybody was going to Blur.
I mean, I don't understand why Queens would even say that. Well, they let us do it at... If they're dumb enough to let you do it at
I know, I wish they go there, bitch. The fuck?
When 5 of the bartenders come down with COVID and they have to shut it down, y'all gonna be right back in home.
I will tell you this one time. I was, oh my god. So this guy wasn't wearing his mask. I don't know if I told this story here before. This guy wasn't wearing his mask, and one of the employees is like, "Hey, can you tell that guy to wear his mask?" So I went up to them like, "Hey, bud, can you put on your mask for me?" And then he's like, first of all, the privilege in him was fierce. And he's like, how dare you? He's like, I am ordering a drink and he's like, how do you want me to drink my beer with my mask? I'm like, well, but if you want, you can go by a table or you can go outside, you can take it off, but you're in the center of the dance floor of the area. You need to have a mask on. That's the rules. If you can comply easy, then he's like, oh, let me show you. So he tries to make a fool out of me and make his friends laugh, and then he puts on his mask and then tries to drink his beer and it spills everywhere. And then he's like, so I'm supposed to drink my beer like that? Then I was like to him, get the fuck out. And he's like, what? I'm like, get out. I'm like, you're not going to fucking disrespect me. I'm telling you to do something. I'm trying to do my job and you're over here being an asshole. Then his friend's like, oh, he didn't mean it. And I was like, no, get the fuck out. Like, get out. Then he's like, oh, you're just mad. I'm like, mad at what? I'm trying to do my job, and you're telling me not to do my job. I went in this man's face, and he got in my face. And I, went a little bit in, and I grabbed his beer, and I was like, get the fuck out. I threw his beer in the fucking trash. I'm like, get out.
Well,
and then I had to write an incident report and everything.
Well, at the Eagle, they mean business.
They
obviously.
do.
Obviously,
well,
they mean
that was
business.
like the week 1 of opening, and there was these idiots trying to do stupid stuff, and I'm like, just do your job. I'm just trying to do my job. Just put on a mask, sit down, someone will get you a beverage, and you're set. But these incompetent idiots were like, oh no, we want to order at the bar. I'm like, the bartender's not going to take your order at the bar. Like, that's what they know. I don't know. This man was just full of.
Well, I like the fact that y'all have the shields up at the bar. So with
That's
the
new.
signs,
That just came in last week.
with the signs that said please
2
wear
weeks
your
ago.
mask on the signs.
It literally says that.
It
Just
literally says that. So I don't understand why people are still getting upset about the.
my roommate's like that too. He like comes in. We go to the store, and then he's like this the whole time. He's like this the whole time. And then he goes in the car. He's like, "Oh, I'm so tired of wearing my mask at the store." And then I was like, I was like to him yesterday. I was so fucking annoyed. I was like, "You weren't even wearing it over your nose." And he's like, "Oh, I wasn't. I didn't even notice."
Isn't your roommate like super old though?
Yeah, he's like 80.
Oh, I guess he don't care about living anymore.
Clearly, clearly,
I guess he doesn't care about living.
he's ready to go with the wind.
I guess he's ready to go. Well,
He's ready to go gone with the wind.
Well, you know what? It's time to take a break.
It's break time.
It's time to take a break.
It's potty break.
It's time for a little party break.
Little party break. A little disco party break nap.
So we're gonna take a little bit of a break, and I'm trying. You know what? I'm trying to find our sponsors.
Our break number. Our break button.
I'm trying to find our sponsors' little commercial thing that he made. So I'm gonna find that, and we are going to be right. No, here it is. Okay.
We found it.
All right, we found it. I'm gonna play it, and then we'll be back in a few minutes.
Hi, everybody. You're listening to That Little Gay Talk Show with Joel Tatum and
Mr. Taval Baruch.
Thank you. Joel's a close personal friend of mine. We've known each other for a very long time. I'm very happy to be sponsoring the show. My name is Tuval, also known as Tuvi with Tuvi's Woodworking. We do a lot of custom woodworking projects, starting with cutting boards of any size, going all the way up to epoxy river tables, epoxy side tables, beds, cabinetry, really anything that has to do with a custom, specific measurement, specific taste kind of projects.
So basically, Tuvi gives us wood.
Tuvi gives you wood.
I think I'm going to use that one. Tuvi gives you wood. And we are back. We had to take a little bit of a break,
It was an extended break, kind of. It was longer than usual.
Well, they won't know that. As far as they know.
It was a 1 second break, guys. I had to pee my pants.
Yes. We started the show at 7, and it's now midnight.
Oh. It's actually 7 a.m. now?
No, it's 7 a.m. So that was a long-ass break. So you won't notice a difference.
The longer the break, the closer to God.
Exactly. So what were we talking about, girl? Oh, you know what? It was National Coming Out.
Oh, National Coming Out.
It was National Coming Out Day.
We're going to talk about our coming out stories?
I think we could talk about our... I don't think mine is that dramatic, though.
Mine is.
I don't think mine is that dramatic. Mine is
so bad.
Mine was on mine was on several levels. I had to come out many times. Many times. So
how did you come out many times?
Mom, dad, and stepmom.
Oh, school. Principal.
Then I had to talk to people at work, and then I had to talk to... Well, people at work already knew.
Coming out stories.
But I had to talk to several different people.
Okay.
And it went on for months. For months.
Let me tell you how I put a penis in my booty hole.
4 months. So, yeah. To the point where the culmination of it was a Christmas party. But I'll tell you about that in a second.
Just to go first?
Just to keep everybody... Give
everybody
a little bated breath. What is... Ooh, he said culminating to a Christmas party.
Culminating to a Christmas party. I have a hard time trying to get this microphone.
So,
can you turn my headphones up a little bit?
A little bit?
Just
yeah.
A tiny smudge.
Yes, I can turn them up. A tiny smudge. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, better. Okay. Because
All right.
couldn't hear myself. Now I can hear myself. Look,
it was on the same volume as before. Maybe I just needed to turn up the mics just a little bit.
Maybe. There we go.
There we go.
Oh, nice and crispy.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I just turned it up a notch.
Awesome.
It wasn't exactly at the same place where we had it before, but now it is.
Now it is. I can hear it.
Yeah.
You know when it sounds like you're talking, but it's in the back of your head? That's how it sounds like now. I don't know if that make sense, but I think you understand.
I kind of understand.
It's like when you're talking, but you feel it back here because of the headphones, but it's not through here because of your head.
I feel like this is what it sounds like when I talk to myself when I'm alone.
Yeah, right. Good evening with the sun.
Because I honestly, is there anyone? Do you talk to yourself when you're alone?
No,
really.
Just other than disappointment, faggot, idiot. Like, why did you do that to yourself? Why didn't you wear a condom? Those.
Oh Lord.
those comments.
Because I actually talk to myself when I'm alone. Because
like full on, like, how are you? How's your day? Or is it just like, okay, and so I need to do this, need to do this?
A little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Okay, I do more of the second thing. Like, I'm like, okay, so let's like, for me, it's like, today we're gonna try to cut out all the jock straps. Today we're gonna sew the jock straps, and today we're gonna do this and this, and then tomorrow we're gonna do this, but tomorrow we're gonna pick up at 10 o'clock in the morning and then get myself started. It's sort of like that, but it's not like, hi, how are you? Good, how are you? Like your hair today? Well, I didn't brush it. It's none of that.
Oh no, mine is some of that. Some of that. I'll look in the mirror and go, "Hey, girl, what's going on?"
Oh my God,
Lord,
that's me when I'm drunk. Though.
I need to brush my teeth. I need to do this. I need to do that. Girl,
that's when I'm drunk.
Or I'll be like, "Girl, you look rough." I'll usually do that. Like if I've gotten drunk the night before, I'll look in the mirror and go, "Girl, you got
get it together, sis."
Oh, I'm gonna have to do a whole routine today. I'm gonna have to do a whole routine. I'm gonna have to mask it. I'm gonna have to wash my face.
Can I tell you a deep dark secret?
Go ahead.
So,
you're telling everybody your deep dark secret.
That's okay. It's not really that embarrassing. It's kind of stupid. But the other day, my friend's like, "Can you pick me up at this time?" And I got to his house early. I'm like, "Okay, I'm at your house whenever you're ready." So I started doing my eyebrows, like plucking my eyebrows, and I did this one.
Girl, how your eyebrows do not look any.
This one is clean, and this one is all over here.
Really,
like
I can't tell. I can't tell the difference.
Well, yeah, if you look at the sides over here, this is more clean, and this isn't. Do you see it?
Now, I know that I'm dealing with someone who has to deal with a lot of makeup and everything else because of your side profession, but I don't see any difference, girl.
Okay, yeah, because I always feel self-conscious about it. I'm like,
I think you make
ugly.
Because I don't see any difference, girl. I mean, if you have paper thin, if one of yours was paper thin and the other one was thick,
the other one is over here.
Then I'd be like, girl, what happened? What you do last night, girl?
Girl, when you're in drag and I'm gonna stop myself there. When you're in drag and you're over here like doing shit with someone else, and then your half of your face comes off, like you had a good time.
Exactly. Speaking of which, I'm gonna throw a little side note here. That taqueria truck that you recommended.
Oh, so good.
It was so good.
I told you it was
so good. Now I ordered a lot of food.
You did order it. I'm like, why the fuck do you have 4 bags, Joe?
No, I did not have 4 bags.
You had 1 bag, but you had like 3 boxes.
I had 2 boxes. Thank you very much. I had 2 boxes, and they were delicious. I think I ordered some pastor and
tacos al pastor and gordita. And you're like, I don't know. You're over here trying to take my fucking bar packs home with you. You're like, that one over there looks so good. And I'm like, go home, John.
I'm like, when I reach that level,
I know.
I'm just like,
is gone.
I'm like, you know what?
She's like, I'm gonna call an Uber after this drink. 4 drinks later.
It's time for me to go. I knew it was time for me to go when I started looking at your little bar backs going.
I'm like, goodbye.
In my head, I'm like, girl,
you cannot enter no more.
Girl, go get you something to eat, and it's time for you to go. Call your Uber. Go get you something to eat. It's time for you to go home. In my own head. Girl, I might have said it out loud to myself. I told you I talked to myself. So, yeah, I might. And by the way, my talking to myself comes from childhood trauma. Because I had to spend a lot of time alone, and I was in certain situations where really terrible things happened. So that was how I managed to make it through those terrible situations. Okay. So
makes sense.
Because when I tell people that I talk to myself, they look at me like, "Are you okay, girl? You really okay?"
A little bit.
And I'm like, not really, but it got me through my childhood. It's getting me through adulthood.
I'm better now.
It gets me through adulthood, and it'll get me through old age. So as long as it works, that's fine. So that's one of the things that I always worry about if I ever got into a relationship, because I'm gonna have to tell people. I talk to myself. And
I've never really seen you talk to yourself.
No, because you're in the room. Why would I talk to myself?
Oh, true.
when there's other people around.
I talk to myself when I'm drunk. Where I'm like, okay, bitch, you gotta drive home, get your shit together. Let's do the shot real quick, and then call it a day.
Yeah, but I think that's what everybody else does.
Yeah.
But I will, because when I was a kid, I would literally go to another world and I'd make up characters and I'd go into a fantasy land and all this other stuff. So I would do that.
Yeah.
And sometimes I catch myself doing that as an adult. I'll be watching TV and I'll be getting so involved in what's going on TV, I'll be having a full-blown conversation with myself about what's going on with these characters, and why they acting like this. This is so stupid. And I will have commentary throughout the movie. If it's a really good movie, I'm quiet. I'm quiet as a mouse.
Yeah.
Because everything works. And because I've watched so many movies over the years, I have a slightly critical eye. So I can pick up. I
feel that.
Yeah, so I feel like I can pick up on oh my God, plot holes are the worst. When you go from one scene where one character is doing something, and then 5 minutes later they're doing something completely different that had nothing to do with the scene before that, and you're like,
what the hell?
What the fuck just happened? And then I'm questioning it for 20 minutes.
Like, what the?
Because
you're distracted by that.
Because I'm distracted by the fact that, so how do we go from
this scene to
this character is doing this and that,
then they go to
then they turn around and do something that was completely opposite.
I was like, what the hell?
And I will talk about it for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I speaking of that, I started watching this Russian Netflix
by the way,
series.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will get back to the coming out stories. We always sidetrack.
Girl, we always.
But we will be getting back to the coming out stories in a minute. But we have to finish this now.
Yeah, I started watching this series called To the Lake, and it's a Russian Netflix zombie flick, whatever, like a pandemic film.
Oh my God, aren't you tired?
Never. Bitch.
I am so over zombie flicks.
Some of them are good. Well, this one is more of a pandemic, but zombies are subtly. So, like, it's just like, okay, there's a zombie. So, actually, there was only one
like
time.
28 days later?
No. It's more of like everybody dies because of coronavirus sort of thing. But there's this scene. It's like the beginning of the scene. It's not a plot twist, but it shows these two characters running, and it's like they get gunned down, and that's how the first episode ends. In the second episode,
it's episodic. It's an episodic.
Yeah.
It's not a movie. Okay.
Yeah, and sorry, and then it's a series, and then in the next like episode 2, they're like, okay, thank God we got away from them, and then like the scene that showed them get gunned down is a whole different town. I'm like. That makes no sense because I don't even know. I was like, I hate that.
What's the weirdest show on Netflix that you really like? But you wouldn't tell people you liked?
I don't know. I feel like I watch a lot of random things. I really like. This is like probably not on Netflix, but I really like cringy, terrible like horror films. There's a show called, what the fuck is it called?
Like, is it from a certain time period of?
No,
just really like, bad, awful.
It's just terrible. Then I'm just like, what the hell am I watching this for? But I'm already committed. I'm 15 minutes away from the ending, and I still don't know whose name is who, and who's Abigail, and who's Jerry, and who's Jeremiah.
I hate to tell you this. I do the same thing with gay movies.
Yeah.
I will search, Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime has the worst films.
Has the worst gay films.
There might be films in general.
One or two that have stood out.
Yeah.
That have stood out, but for the most part, they are terrible films.
They are. They have a lot of terrible films.
Now, I saw one from 1971 that had a young Rue McClanahan from the Golden Girls.
Yeah. Oh, I think you talked about this the other day.
Yes, Queen. And because, hold on, let me get...
Just because she was there.
Okay, because I gave up my iPad so he can be on Growler. Because I felt like he needed a bigger screen for Growler. Let me see if I can pull it up while we talk about the fact that I like on Netflix. I like a lot of Asian TV.
Yeah, Asian TV,
but not like the super like sugar pop, gummy, romantic story. Oh my God,
they're scary.
Asian
movies are good. They have a lot of good comedy stuff too.
But they're romantic. Oh my God, their romantic shows and comedies are just so full of sugar. It's ridiculous.
Full of sugar.
I cannot stand them. But I like watching like like the supernatural, martial artsy,
those
with the gods and all this other stuff, kind of stuff. With mostly from China, because they really, oh my god, the special effects are so good. I mean, the special effects. I mean, some of them can be kind of cheesy, but the special effects, and I like movies. I kind of like movies and TV shows with really bad special effects, because I'm like, did you not have the?
They
budget?
tried.
It's like every sci-fi. You know, when Sci-Fi Channel remakes of popular films, and they're and they always star Eric Roberts.
I'm screaming.
They always star Eric Roberts in some role in the movie. Like there was one based on the that Battleship. Remember that Battleship movie?
Oh my god, Battleship is what is it? Battleship
now,
something.
Let me tell you something. The Battleship, the original movie with Rihanna in it. By the way, Rihanna, what were you, girl? I hope they paid you. But the one with Rihanna in it was already bad enough. But when Sci-Fi decided to make their own knockoff version of it, it was horrible. But it was so funny. I mean, because when Sci-Fi makes knockoffs of blockbuster movies, my god, they're hilarious. They are hilarious. You know, they did one with all the fairy tales.
Yeah.
One time you got Snow White and all these, because Snow White, you can use those characters anywhere.
Yeah.
They are not Disney does not own the rights to them. They are open source.
Yeah.
So anyone can use them, but they did one where they had Snow White and Cinderella and I think it was Aurora or something, and they had to come to the future, which was our time, and they had to stop Rumpelstiltskin or something. Girl, it was all messed up.
I think, is it Once Upon a Time?
No, Once Upon a Time is ABC. I'm talking about on Sci-Fi Channel, girl. It was a movie.
Everything.
It was a movie. Girl, it was terrible. It was the worst thing I had ever seen. They used magic to come to our time, and I think they had to find, I'm not going to say Rumpelstiltskin. It might have been another character. But they had to, because I don't want anybody to mix up Once Upon a Time with this movie. This movie was terrible. And they had to come to the future, and they made a sequel, girl. They had the nerve enough to make a sequel. I said, oh, no.
Redemption.
I know. And they, with revenge or redemption at the time. Girl, no. It was terrible. No, but you know what? I have subscribed to a couple of the gay channels because I felt like I needed to give back to the gay community. You know, you want to try to watch these things because... You know, there's several channels for black people. There's lots of channels for Hispanic people.
Yeah.
There's lots of channels for Asian people. But gays
don't really have it. Well, I think they have, what is that channel called? They have they have Logo TV, but that's also
But Logo, you got to search, girl. You got to search for that sometimes.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you got to search for that. And it's like, Logo, I used to be able to get Logo when I had cable, and then you had to do like a specialty thing and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, God, this is too much work. So when I started going to the streaming services, you know, everybody became a streaming service after a while. Once Netflix did it, Netflix and Hulu did it, suddenly everybody's a streaming service.
Now we got eBay streaming service. Now we got Amazon streaming service.
So everybody's a streaming service. So now you can find, I have Reverie, I have Deco, and, you know, Reverie... They're up and coming. They're trying.
Yeah.
They try so hard. They try so hard. Some of the things they have on there, I'm like, oh my God, this is so terrible. But there's one show in particular that is hilarious, and it's called The Gayborhood. And I recommend that if you want to spend the $9.99 to subscribe to Reverie. Please note that they really are trying to get their shows together. I can tell from watching some of the shows. I'm like, you know, they're trying to be more diverse in the shows.
Yeah.
You
That's
see
cool that
Asian characters and black characters and all this other stuff. So I get the diversity thing.
Yeah.
So I think once they get the kinks out and get some really good filmmakers and writers in there, I think they're going to really
evolve.
I think they're really going to evolve. But one show in particular is Gayborhood, and it's kind of a knock on reality TV.
Yeah.
You have 4 gay friends, and they're heterosexual, one heterosexual woman, and the adventures that they have. I think they only have 6 episodes for the first season. It's hilarious, especially the last. And I'm going to say this: you throw a drag queen in there, it's going to be funny. I'm sorry, but it is. If you throw a drag queen in any gay movie, they're the most hilarious characters in the movie.
They're probably going to bring her back.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. So if
except for that one film you made me watch that was based out in South Florida, the one with the. What is it called? The one with the dad that was straight. Now he's gay. Now he's a drag queen. And then the mom tries to look for them and then sues.
Girl, does it look like I remember?
I remember you recommended that movie. And you're like, do you know any of these? I knew one of the queens on there.
I actually asked you if you knew any of the locations or if that bar was real. Or I'm like, I don't know if any of those drag queens. I mean, some of them could have been.
Is real. I know that.
I know some of them could have been like real drag queens who work in Florida, but. For the most part, I was more curious about the location and everything else.
That film was so boring.
I mean,
it was nice and everything. It had a nice plot and everything, but I was just like, girl, when is this movie going to end? Because it was like 2 hours long.
It
was long for no reason.
Girl, it was an hour and 35 minutes. It just seemed like 2 hours.
Yeah, because it was just a bunch of nonsense.
It was a bunch of that.
They had like a scene that was like 5 minutes long of the dad and the girl walking in the beach. I'm like, where are we going with this?
Yeah, exactly.
Why is this here?
Exactly. None of it made
really good sense. It made really good sense. It really didn't.
And if somebody out there, please recommend me something that I can watch.
Please recommend some gay films.
Because you know what I found? I found out the lesbian films actually turned out to be slightly better.
Yeah, you said that. They probably know what the fuck they're doing.
I think lesbian films and sometimes TV shows turn out to be much better than I watched a lesbian action flick on Reverie. It was good. Girl, it was pretty good.
Oh, so plot twist. The haunting on, what is it, Barrel Mansion?
What?
You mean
Bly House?
Bly House. I don't remember.
Where you get burned?
I don't remember. I don't remember the name of it. It's a gay film. It's a gay thing.
The House on Bly Hill on Netflix?
Not Bly Hill, like Bly Mansion. It's gay.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't get gay until like episode 4, but it's a gay film. It's a gay thing.
Okay.
So I highly recommend it. Just because there are people in there.
Is it a Ryan Murphy thing? Ryan Murphy?
No. It's not a Ryan Murphy. I don't think it is because it's not his sort of aesthetic at all.
He does American Horror Story. How is that not his aesthetic?
Because it's not like it's really good towards the end. It doesn't suck at the end. They tried the whole film, throughout the whole thing.
Okay. Because I watched The Boys in the Band. Did you watch Boys in the Band?
No.
You need to watch it. Actually, I would prefer that you watch the 1972 version. I think it's slightly better. But the modern version that's on Netflix is not too bad. It's actually pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So that's one I would recommend on Netflix. You need to watch that. It's really good.
Boys in the Band?
Boys in the Band. Mm-hmm.
I think I've seen that promoted.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's almost, I'm not going to say almost, a lot of the actors are gay in this. Ryan Murphy likes to keep it true.
Yeah,
true.
That's good.
True to form, kind of like Hollywood. Did you see Hollywood?
I saw the first 2 episodes.
So,
but it was like
you can tell it's a Ryan Murphy.
Yeah, you can always tell because the scenery, and then there's always like a delay beginning. You know what I mean? Or a very dramatic entrance to each episode.
Yeah, exactly. He's all about flash and color.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he loves color. Watching anything he does, it's so
even
bright.
Like Ratchet, her outfits are just beautiful.
They are. I'm like, look at all these colors. I would just be distracted.
That's how I was.
I would be
the first episode of Ratchet where she's picking out her outfits. I'm just like, oh, he looks so good. Their hair looks so good. Everything just looks so good.
That you forget that there's an actual story going on.
Yeah, because I'm over here amused by outfits and looks. You know what I mean? Because I'm more of into that. That's what I do. It's like I'm into looks. I'm into like the fashion of things, and then Ratchet,
which is not a bad thing, but it can be distracting sometimes. And I think Ryan Murphy kind of goes overboard sometimes because it's so much about the look, and you're losing some substance.
There was something that I was watching the other day that's Ryan Murphy filmed, and then I was so distracted by them putting up putting an outfit on someone that I was like, what the fuck did they say? Like, I didn't even pay attention to that whole scene.
Are you talking about the politician?
I don't remember. Maybe, but they were like putting a lady in an outfit. And I was so distracted by like the jewels and the glam and the dress and
that sounds like Hollywood to me. Are you
it
sure
might
it
have
wasn't
been Hollywood. I have no idea.
It sounds like Hollywood to me. That's what it sounds like.
I think I talked about it on the podcast. They were putting a thing and then it had a giant spider brooch. And then I was like, oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, I think you're talking about Hollywood.
Maybe.
He's got so much going on.
Yeah.
He's got
so. It was a Ryan Murphy film because I remember like just like this is so dramatic.
Well, I mean, he's gay.
Yeah.
Everything is
dramatic for
and
him.
you know what gets me is the gays who are like, I don't like drama. I like to live my life drama free.
Girl.
Bitch, no, you don't. Anybody who tells you that they don't like drama loves drama.
They love a good drama.
They love a good drama.
They are the drama.
They are either they are the drama or they like to watch. I'm one of those girls who like to sit back and sip on a little something and watch it go on. Ooh, girl.
The beers.
It's about to happen.
So can you tell me about your coming out story?
Oh yes, let's get into the.
Let's get into it. You ever seen me? Let's get into it.
Well, I told him earlier that we were gonna get distracted, but you know what? When we take another break, I'm gonna go back and look up all the movies that we talked about because I feel like everybody's like, what are they talking about? I want to know what movie they're talking about and this and that. So I'm gonna look up all that stuff later when we take one more break, so that everybody knows what we were talking. Now everything that we talked about, we pretty much knew the names of the movies, but there were a couple of movies that we were talking about that we didn't remember the names of because they were so horrible that you don't want to remember the names of them. I mean, like I said, I spent an entire weekend watching nothing but gay films going, oh my God.
I think GBF is a pretty awful one.
Gay Best Friend. I liked Gay Best Friend.
I thought it was
I didn't
annoying.
love it. I didn't love it. But I liked it.
I just watched it because I just started it and I was like, I'm already committed.
I liked it, but I didn't love it.
I started watching the show called Emily Goes to Paris, and
you know what? Some of my friends went yes, and then other of my friends went no.
To Emily Goes to Paris?
Yeah,
it's so okay.
We are gonna talk about coming out stories in a minute, but go ahead.
But the reason why I didn't like this is like, okay, so the way that I looked at it. Is this girl, her boss, gets an opportunity to go to France. And
now, this is from the maker of Sex in the City.
Oh,
did you know that?
Yeah. No, I didn't. Okay,
yeah, one of the producers of Sex in the City.
Okay. So this girl's boss gets a job to work in Paris as like a fashion designer, something.
Of course.
So then she finds out she's pregnant, so she asks her whoever who's under her is like, oh, can you take my place while I take a year of absence for having a baby? So this girl goes, and she goes to Paris, and the first thing that they tell her is like, well, you have to learn French. She's like, okay, whatever. She's like, not worried about it. She shows up to her first day at work, not a lick of French. And they're trying to like, okay, who are you? What are you trying to do? And she doesn't know where she's supposed to go. She has a meeting in English. Half of the staff doesn't speak French. Shit show. And I was like, girl... If I was you, bitch, I'll be on everything trying to get that shit situated, trying to learn at least some sort of French.
Google Translate will usually help you.
Well, she tried doing that and she scared somebody off. And then I'm just like, girl, just learn. Just like take a
French
class.
Is so hard.
But yeah,
I tried to learn French, but if I'm going to go to Paris, if somebody offered me a job
in Paris for a year,
I'm going to learn. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to learn Paris.
She didn't even try.
I will learn enough to get by.
And she's getting her time zones mixed up. And I was like, girl, get your shit together. Like, no, that is unacceptable. Like, if you're working for me, but you already been gone. You were already been fired. And I'm just like, I just didn't like it because she was just a white privileged girl that got a nice opportunity, and she took it for granted. I didn't even watch the full episode, the first episode, and I'm just like, girl, if this was me, bitch, I'll be learning French, Japanese, whatever the fuck you want me to learn within a day.
Because I can tell you right now, that's funny because you are so angry at the fact that this girl has an amazing opportunity and she's squandering it because she didn't decide to learn French. That's what shows can do. That's what media can do sometimes.
Yeah, and I'm just like...
They can get you so involved that you're like, Okay, let me tell you how I would have done this, because this is stupid.
Yeah, I was just because she was like, you know, I don't know. I just thought she was super privileged in the show. That I'm like, girl, this is a show about white privilege. It really was. A show about white privilege and like how white people don't take into consideration that a wonderful opportunity has been presented in front of you and you're going to take it for granted. It really had. I didn't like it. I didn't care for it, and I was just like, "Fuck you, bitch." Because if I was given this opportunity to do something so incredible, to be flown across like the other side of the world,
you know, the funny thing is
yeah,
is that if you walked into that room with that same kind of mindset, you would have been fired on the spot. That's the funny thing, because you're a person of color, and you didn't take the opportunity to learn French before you went, and you walked into that same situation. Yeah, you would have been fired on the spot.
Yeah, and they told her like, you should learn French. You should, at least, because like, I think three people said it before she left. She's like, no, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm like, bitch, yes, worry about it. You're going to a country where they don't even speak English. I don't know. It just really got me annoyed and pressed. I'm like, I hate this, and I turned it off, and I was like, fuck this show. Like, for real, fuck this show. This is like another like stupid ass like, I can't. The way that I looked at it is like, I can't resonate myself to any of the characters in there. I can't see myself as like,
you know, there are certain times that I will find myself watching what I would call very hipster shows.
Yeah,
and thinking
it's also super cheesy. I didn't like that either.
These white people are ridiculous.
Like, y'all got no brain cells.
These white people. I mean, and I don't mean no harm, but. And I'm not a millennial basher by any means, but sometimes the people who are representing you in media, they are the stupidest people. They make y'all look stupid.
Are they representing us in media, or are they seeming to represent us?
They're seeming. Yeah. And these are the.
I think she was. And by the way, I think she was the perfect example of someone that would represent millennials.
But the irony is the fact is that most of these kids are writing these episodes, so I don't know who to blame for that.
Yeah.
If it were like people my age writing about millennials, I would have said, you know what, y'all, how old are the people behind the scenes writing this shit? Because they making you look ridiculous. But when I find out, wait a minute, the kids are writing this? Oh, I
think for that, I don't know. I just thought she was really stupid. And this show, and she was very codependent on her partner. And I was just like, she met a guy there, and I was like, girl, she's going to sleep with him, then break up with her boyfriend, and then they're going to live a happy life. Literally see it coming. Predictable.
Because, like I said, some people have told me that it's really good, and then some people have told me it's really bad. So,
for maybe I have to. I couldn't watch the first episode. I'm like, this bitch is stupid.
And to be quite honest, I read a little bit of the synopsis and I went, no, I don't want to watch this.
You know, it was number 3 on the American.
Yeah, I know.
Video, and then I was just
everybody loves it. I swear to God.
I like, that's stupid. It's boring.
And you know what? Like I said, we are not. I know that we're two people of color, and if I had a white person in this room, it would probably be a little bit of a better conversation. A little bit of a
let us know how you feel.
Yeah,
Ghost.
Let us know how you feel in the comments
Ghosty.
below.
I'm just kidding.
Honestly, let us know how you feel in the comments below, because I'm going to tell y'all something. Sometimes I always wonder why they always say that when you put people of color in the show, white people aren't going to be interested. And this and that, because they don't understand your experience and everything else.
No, I think it's that, but the opposite.
But the thing is that maybe it's because you don't want to learn it. I have seen your experience 1,000 different times in 1,000 different ways.
Yep.
I'm
That's
bored.
exactly how it is. I'm just like, girl, these white people
aren't. I look at white people sometimes and go, aren't you bored with that?
Yeah, I feel like it's just the show was a very cliche. Like it was. Now that you said Sex in the City, I was like. It was hi Tawny. It was very that, and I'm just like, this is like the same thing. Because if you watch it, it's the same vibe as Sex in the City. Now that you said it, because it's like that sort of like campy, like, you know, waiting for audience applause sort of thing, but there's no audience there, sort of thing. And I'm just like, this is stupid.
It's like when all my white friends raved about How I Met Your Mother. I watched 2 episodes and went, I don't like any of these characters. And I don't understand how you like any. All these characters are terrible characters.
Oh my god, same.
They are terrible.
I tried watching it for the first season, and I was like, "This is so boring."
It wasn't boring. I actually hated these characters. These characters were with the exception of the Allison, what's her name character from Buffy. She was the only one that had some redeeming quality. But for the rest of them, this was a terrible. And Ted was the worst. I hated Ted more than anything.
Is that like the?
He's one of he's the one who's telling the story about how.
Okay.
I mean, my wife friends were like, "Oh my god, it's an amazing show," and blah 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 blah. And I'm like,
I hear that too. Then I was like, I didn't like it. I think it's because we don't correspond or like we don't relate. We don't see ourselves in these characters.
It's for me. It's more in the lines of, I'm sorry, I already saw this. It was called Friends. I already saw this. I don't understand why this is your Friends for the 2000s. It's the Friends of the 2000s. I'm like, so 2020, are we going to have another version of these two shows coming out here soon? I hope not, because I've already seen this. I have lived long enough on this earth that I already went
I just couldn't watch it. I was just so bored.
Now, I watched Friends a little bit back in the day, but honestly, I really liked watching Living Single. And not because, now I know I'm black and everything else, and black people had their TV, white people had their TV, which I thought was ridiculous. I always thought that, I'm like, why couldn't Living Single be on the same network as Friends? I think the two could have coexisted on the same network. But I just found that there was more spice and more fun with Living Single, whereas, Friends was just a bunch of, and the kids still like that show. White kids still love that show. White people still love that show. Now, I don't know why. And these people are super rich. They don't have to work a day in their life. A day. I mean, when they get millions in syndication. They don't have to act. I don't know why Jennifer Aniston is, and she is the worst of the bunch. I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this. I hate Jennifer Aniston. I don't mean nothing personal. I'm sure she is a fine person.
She's a fine young woman.
But she is not an actress. She plays the same character in every movie. She plays Rachel in every movie. Every movie.
Why she's the only world she knows, really.
It's the only world she knows. She has no range. And everybody's, she's America's sweetheart. To who?
For white people?
I'm like, no, she's like the most vanilla person on the planet. I hate her. And when Brad Pitt left her for Angelina Jolie, I went, all right. He wanted something with a little flavor. There you go.
He sure did.
He sure did. And I don't have, you know what? I kind of, even though I hate her, I respect her. And this is why I respect her.
Yeah.
She knew what kind of life she wanted to live.
Yeah.
She did not want to have children. She wanted to live her life the way she wanted to live it. She has no regrets on how she lives her life.
No.
For that, I give her respect. But as an actress, no. Not at all. She's not an actress. She is a character that they put in a film so that people can go, oh, there's Rachel. So unless I see her doing
like a dramatic, power woman scene. Then
I was going to say like some kind of like Jane Austen kind of something where I'm like, I'm sorry, is she trying
Has she ever done anything like that before?
No, okay. No, no. She spends way too much time with Adam Sandler, but no.
God, I feel like Adam Sandler's another character that's just the same character. I just watched his new one, Doobie Halloween. Mm-hmm. I'm like, this is the same guy from I don't even see a lot of his films. Like this is Little Nicky. Mm-hmm. This is like that one movie about the dad. Mm-hmm. This is like the only. Oh,
they're all the same movie. You could just name one movie and just say that's his whole filmography.
He talks like this, and like first of all, you're like making fun of people with like a speech impediment, and like that's not cool. Or like with he plays like a lot of characters that have some sort of like mental issue. I'm like, that's not cool. But whatever, that's Adam Sandler.
Yeah, I know. And he gets paid millions of dollars and people love his movies. And I do not understand why. I made a mistake of watching his Western on Netflix.
Which one is it?
Horribly offensive. And the jokes were, I'm like, where are the jokes?
I saw his Halloween one. It was really bad.
It was bad.
It just came out a few days ago. It was so boring.
And I swear to God, Rob Schneider, I wish someone would take a hit out on him. Oh, wait, I can't say that. I know.
Who's Rob Schneider?
Rob Schneider is his little buddy at every movie he makes. Between him and the, oh, good Lord, what's the blonde guy's name? They always end up in his movies, and I'm like, why are your friends still? And I look at Chris Rock sometimes.
Oh, Rob Schneider.
Yeah, and I look at Chris Rock sometime and go, Chris, you have a successful comedy career. Don't do this. Or unless Adam is paying you super big bucks, then like, okay, take the paycheck. If you're taking the paycheck, that's fine, but but he can get away with that. But oh my God, it's like I said, you keep seeing the same now. Don't get me wrong. There are a couple of shows that have surprised me that have been really, really good.
Yeah.
And one of my favorites on Hulu, Shrill, from A.D. Bryant. Oh my God, it's so good. I cannot believe how good it is. It's well written. You actually care about the characters. You're like, because the first time I went, oh my God, white people problems. Here we go. And it just turned out so good. And the character she plays, I mean, I can't wait for the next season. I think I've watched I think there's 2 seasons. But I can't wait till the next season pops around. So it's a really good. It's one of those shows that I went, you know what? I like this. I have a feel for this. I feel for this. This is not bad. So, So, anywho, we're gonna take a little bit of break because we need to get.
We still need to do our coming out story.
We're still gonna do our coming out story.
Blabbed off about whatever.
So yeah, we just went off on a tangent when it came to
white people.
Well, more in the lines when it comes.
Someone commented a white people problem.
Yes. I think more in the lines of when it comes to
white film.
You know, I just feel like diversity works better.
Yeah, diversity does work better, and I feel like it's so offensive when people don't even they just make the same films over and over.
And yeah, exactly the same formula and like I said, some people love.
Are you guys really making money off that? Y'all, is that why you're really doing it again?
Exactly, and then you get bored. And when you're as jaded as
this all started with fucking Emily Goes to Paris. So boring.
I know. Well, I haven't seen it, and thank you.
you can watch it. Maybe you'll like it because it might be a certain kind of comedy that you like. But listen. I watch shitty, spooky films, and that was just this is so boring.
So yeah, I watch a lot of stuff. You know, I go from anime to action films to
just watch whatever.
Yeah, sometimes I'll just watch whatever. I'll pick up I'll like this comedy looks good. I'll watch this, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. Or sometimes I'll go, you know what? I've seen this.
Yeah, I've seen this. Relatable.
Yeah, I've seen it. There's 5 other shows just like it. So no, thank you. And that's that. And then I'll hear people go, well, you really should have taken the time to watch. No, because there's 5 other shows just like it. No, thank you. So
that's why I felt really good with Emily's Goes to Paris was just a very cliche.
You really hate that.
I really did not. I did. Well, I tried to like it, and then I was like, maybe there's something in me that is just not liking it. But I'm like, this is just a white bitch that has a job or opportunity and takes it for granted.
You are so pissed off about that
because I was pressed because she goes to the bakery and she's like, can I get that one? And then the lady tries to correct her and she got offended. I'm like, bitch, she's trying to teach you French because clearly you're not doing anything about it. She's like, I have a French class next week. I'm like, bitch, you're here this week. Find something. Learn something. I don't know. I just you know what I mean? If I was in those shoes, I'll be taking the opportunity and the experience different than the way that she was.
But I think there's a certain don't you think there's a certain commentary on that? That's why you probably maybe that might be on purpose kind of deal.
I think it's just white people writing for white people. We're just worry about it next week because we will have we won't get in trouble for it.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a little bit of a break and we will return and we're going to finish off by telling off our coming and no more talks about movies because we're talking
about coming out. Next.
But I will at the end look up some of the movies that I talked about that I probably forgot the names of that you might be curious about. So we'll return in just a second. And we're back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. We're gonna get in. You ready to get into coming out stories?
Let's get into it.
Let's do it right. Let's get into coming out stories right. I think I got the right sound effect. Here we go. Uh-oh, sorry. Had to turn it up. well, you know. Okay.
That was so cute, though.
Oh, that was cute, but you know, one that was a little Halloween themed. But we were talking about coming out stories, so I think I have to.
That is so cute. I didn't expect that.
Well, because some of our coming out stories have been a little bit on the scary side.
Oh.
So I understand that. But I wasn't trying to go spooky. I was trying to go. Okay, you know what? We got it mixed up. I'm sorry. Let me. I know it's here.
Really
there it is.
Halloween
there it is.
one.
There it is. Okay, there it is. Okay.
Halloween stories.
Here we go.
I mean, sorry. Coming out stories.
Coming out stories. There's the proper sound effect.
I like that. I like the first one, though. I was like, okay, bitch.
The second one wasn't bad either.
No. The first one was just like, okay.
I didn't mean for it to be scary, y'all. I know it's October. I know.
Can you play it again?
Oh yeah, let's do it again. Okay.
The scary one, though.
Okay, coming out stories, y'all. There we go. Mm-hmm. It's our coming out stories, y'all. Y'all ready? I think was it Monday? Monday was officially National Coming Out Day.
National Coming Out Day.
Oh, it was also Indigenous People Day.
Period.
Mm-hmm. So happy
Indigenous People Day. Mm-hmm. Fuck Christopher Columbus. Fuck our dicks.
He was a murdering idiot.
A murdering, massacring motherfucker.
Yep.
Mother beep beep.
A genocidal moron.
An idiot bitch.
Mm-hmm. So there we go.
Moving forward.
Moving forward. Let's talk.
Do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first? I feel like mine is stupid and juicy, but I want to hear yours.
I want to hear your thick and juicy story.
Okay.
Let's go.
Thick, juicy, and savory. Mm-hmm. So, this is when I was, I guess, 21. Mm-hmm. Well, yes, 21. Mm-hmm. So I was on this little app called Growler.
Mm-hmm. So, and that was 21. That was what, 20 years ago?
Oh my God, I've been out for I've been out. Quoted, noted. Mm-hmm. I've been gay internally since I was 18 years old. Mm-hmm. But publicly out, I publicly came out when I was 21, which was 5 years ago-ish. Mm-hmm. Well, publicly to my family.
Okay.
Has been since I've been 21. Mm-hmm. So I met this guy on Growler, and he was from North Florida, and I'm from South Florida, which is an 8-hour difference. And so one day we would hang out, we would meet halfway and hang out in this area and, do our own thing, hook up, whatever. And then one day he's like, do you want to be my boyfriend? And I was like, I don't know. I never had one. So long story short, one day I told him I don't know what the fuck was wrong with me. And I'm like, oh, you can move into my house. And so he moved 8 hours away from his house and he moved into my house. Noted my parents didn't even know that I was gay or anything. So I brought this guy to my house and I asked my mom, hey, is it all right my friend stays here for a couple of days? And she's like, yeah, that's okay. And then those days turned into weeks, then more weeks, and months. Then one day my mom's like, so who's this guy that's living with us? I'm like, he's just my friend. She's like, is it really your friend or is it your boyfriend? And I was like, oh, no. Then one day I was talking to my boyfriend. He's like, how does your mom not know that we're dating? And I've been here for 4 months. And I was like, I don't know. So one day I sat down with my mom hey, I'm gay and that's my boyfriend. And that was it. Came out. It's actually not really juicy. It sounds better thinking about it. But that was it. I had a guy living with me that was my boyfriend for a long time.
That was your coming out story?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Let me see if it's here. Let me see. I think it's this one. Are you serious, girl? That's it. We can't have a whole section with you just telling that little story.
That's it, though. That really is it.
Okay. All right. Well,
my parents never questioned me.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to make this interesting. I'm going to ask a few questions.
Okay. Ask away.
Okay. First of all, we realized at 21 we were gay. We didn't realize.
No, we realized
maybe earlier.
We realized at a young age. I've always been a little bit different. I've always thought I was I've always considered myself bisexual, but I guess the term pansexual is more towards what I'm leaning, where I'm just like into whatever as long as like you're cool and shit. But when I was younger, that wasn't a thing, or I didn't know it was a thing. But I've always found women attractive, men attractive. I've always wanted to sleep with women. I always wanted to sleep with men. But I was also a very ugly child, so I didn't get to.
We all think we were an ugly child.
Oh no, I didn't lose my virginity until I was 18, and then again when I was like 20 years old. So it was like a minute, and just because I was weird looking in the thing, I think I finally grew into how I looked. So I think I'm pretty decent looking now. Just because a lot of the Botox and a lot of the lip fillers everywhere. But
You're only 26, girl. You already started Botox?
Always.
Oh, good
And
Lord.
I had laser hair surgery. Laser hair removal underneath my chin so it doesn't grow all the way down here.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah. But I think I grew into myself and then just sort of just accepted the fact that I'm this big, burly looking motherfucker. And into whatever, as long as someone is nice and genuine to me, then I find them attractive. But at the age of 21, I wasn't ready to come out to my parents because my parents are also very Catholic, very Mexican. It's a whole thing for them. It's like, oh my God, you deceive us. We're not going to have children with our last name.
I've dated enough Hispanic men and
you understand
and Irish
it's written in stone.
Irish men to understand the whole Catholic situation.
And it's just like it's scary. It's scary to come out with your family. I think I came out to people first, and aside from my family. But the first guy that I dated was my sister's best friend, and when I was like 19, I went to college with him because he was 2 years older than me, but since he only had Mexican citizenship, he had to wait 2 years in order for him to get accepted into our college. Long story short, we started college at the same time, and we started fucking each other at the same time, and we were dating, and then my sister found out that we were dating like years later, and my sister questioned him about it, and my sister got really sad that her best friend didn't come forth and told her that me and him were dating, and they haven't talked for over 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, since they were they stopped talking a while ago in high school, but she still considered her his best friend. She graduated in 2011.
So wait, they're not talking to each other because he didn't tell her he was.
Well,
gay?
no, they stopped talking to them. They stopped talking beforehand, but they would occasionally just greet each like, "Hi, how are you?" Like, "I'm going to college. I'm picking up your brother," etc. But like, once she found out that we were dating and we had this whole big thing, she stopped talking to him in general.
Oh, wow.
And because she's like, if he wasn't comfortable enough to tell me that he was gay, and for the matter of fact that you guys were dating for like a year, that's crazy.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. He was a piece of shit, and he's apologized to me numerous times, and I've met his husband, and his husband literally wants to be my sugar daddy.
But in your mind, he'll always be a piece of shit.
No, he's really nice. He's a very nice person.
But you just called him a piece of shit.
Because he treated me like, well... It's very complicated.
Yeah, I know. But at that time,
he was a piece of shit. Yeah, but
that's always going to remain in the back of your mind, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, but I mean, his husband is really super friendly. His husband has like bought so many jock straps for me, and he's like, I want to support you. I think he wants to do more than support me, but
okay, you know what? Don't go down that road.
I mean, that's okay. I play with couples all the time.
Well, I mean, that's fine. It's what I found it easier to play with heterosexual couples than to play with gay couples. I play with heterosexual couples, but not in the way that you think. Usually,
I think gay couples get a little bit jealous.
Yeah. With heterosexual couples, when I played, it was she just wanted to watch. She didn't want to participate. So she wanted to watch her husband be serviced by another man because that turned her on. So I've been in a couple of those situations. And there was the one time that I allowed her to do whatever she needed to do, and I really realized that I'm like, oh no, I like men. She said, well, you got to try it once, and I'm like, okay, I'll try it. And I let her do her thing, and I went, nope.
What'd you like? Did you fuck her? Or?
She kind of did to me. She kind of
like she pegged you.
No, she didn't peg me. He was okay. So here was the situation.
Explain it. Elaborate.
Okay, so he was on top of me, and I was giving him a head, right?
Yeah.
And so that left me exposed down there.
Yeah.
And I was super hard. And she's like, can I? And I'm like, okay, well, I'm kind of busy, but sure, why not? And I'm like, well, this will get my girl thing over with. And it'll tell me 100% whether or not I like this. And she did.
That's not even nothing. I mean, did you fuck her or did she just give you head?
No, she got on top and rode me.
Oh, okay.
No, she got on. That's what I'm saying. She got on top and rode me.
Okay.
And I felt a vagina on my dick, and I realized I don't like it.
Did you continue, or you just told her to stop?
No, I just let her do her thing. I continued pleasing her husband while she continued doing that. And to be quite honest, I was so into him, I could care less what was going on down there.
Oh, that's.
And I didn't get off at all. And she's like, she got. I don't know if she got off. I don't understand the feeling.
You don't know. Yeah. Well, it's very hard for them to get off.
Yeah.
It's just like very like you have to work for it.
Yeah, you have to work.
What I've
for
learned is you have to work for it.
So and all I know is that she did her thing. Then she grabbed the vibrator, did her thing while he screwed me, and then I screwed him, and then that's that. And she got off separately, and I got off while I was in him. So yeah, so that's that. Oh, sorry, that's how. Oh, I'm burping. I'm really talking. I just talked about giving a man head, and then I burped. So yeah, so that's what happened in that situation. But that's not my coming out story. My coming out story is a little bit more complicated.
Tell us.
Because that involves, I came out several times. Okay, so there was 6 years old when I peeped into a bedroom and my mother had a man over and I saw his penis for the first time and I went, I like that. In my head, I went, I like that. I knew at 6 years old what I liked. But the minute I saw a penis, I knew it. And I didn't know if there was anything wrong with it at the time.
Was it a big penis? Do you remember it?
It was uncircumcised.
Ooh, even better.
I don't know if it was, I don't think it was hard.
Juicy.
I think it was just hanging.
Delicious.
But yeah, it was uncircumcised. And I think I went, I like that.
Like, I want that. I want that in me always.
But I was 6. I didn't know if I wanted it in me or I just know I liked it. And I'm like, okay.
Or were you intrigued by it?
Mm-hmm. And so
like, am I gonna have
as the years went on, I made it a point to still be kind of a boy, but because girls didn't like me at the time. Girls did not like me at the time. I think the last girl that liked me was a little white girl that I used to play with her Barbies with her. And my father got mad at me because I was playing Barbies with her. Even though I was playing with Ken. I was playing with Ken. It's not like I was dressing Barbie up. Although secretly I was. I mean, I would put her in cute little... When she would walk away, I'd put Barbie cute little outfits. And Ken didn't have anything going on down there. And so I wasn't really that interested. But Barbie had the little 2 humps. And she had all these fabulous dresses and a little pink closet full of stuff. So I was putting
interchangeable heels.
Mm-hmm. So I was doing that, but I was playing with the whole thing.
Yeah.
And my dad got mad and said I should be playing with Barbies, blah, blah, blah. And so that went on. And then
I remember my dad was like that too. He saw me. Well, I noted I was being Hercules because my mom had bought me an action figure that was Hercules.
Okay, you told your story. You had a chance to tell your story. You told me a 1 minute coming out story. This is my coming out story. You asked me about my coming out.
You didn't ask me about the whole details, though.
Okay, we're supposed to tell a coming out. I came out at 21. I had a boyfriend over. He stayed for a year. That's when I came out. I'm like, what? That's not a story.
I guess.
That's not a story.
Okay, I'm going to let you finish.
That's not a story. Okay, thank you.
I'll let you finish, but Beyonce was the winner.
Okay. So, as the years went on, and Dad said, you can't play with dolls anymore, I went, okay, but I have a G.I. Joe. And the G.I. Joe I had was about this tall. They used to make G.I. Joe this tall and in the 70s. And I'm like, what's the difference between... I was pretty intuitive at the time. I couldn't understand what the difference was between her doll and mine.
Yeah.
Because when I pulled his pants down, it was
the same thing.
And it's the same thing as the Ken doll. Except, honestly, the little G.I. Joe did have a little bit of a hump. I don't know what that was about.
You're so right, because I know, because they had like tidy whities, but there was a hump.
There was a hump, and I didn't understand.
What is it? So what is that?
So I didn't understand what that was all about, because Ken had nothing going on down there. Yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, he had nothing going on. Poor Barbie. That's why Barbie had.
Barbie had nothing.
That's
going
why
on
Barbie
there,
had. That's why Barbie was a huge success and had all this stuff going on because Ken didn't have nothing going on down there.
Mm-hmm.
She had to because he couldn't take care of her the way she needed to be taken care of.
She took care of herself.
She took care of herself, and by that time, I think she was a business person at the time. So by that time she was already a business person. I don't think she made it to astronaut until the 80s, but she was and then by that time I was already a teenager. So that happened. So I spent a lot of time being a boy, which meant I had to play with other boys, and that came with an advantage because I get to see other boys when we would like go to the locker room and stuff, and I got to see other boys, and I realized
that you liked other boys.
I don't want to play with girls. I want to
play with boys.
I want to play with boys.
You want to be one of the boys.
I wanted to be one of the boys. So whatever the boys wanted to do, that's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I went playing in the woods, and I went played with little cars, and I did all the stuff boys because I wanted to be near boys. And the few times that I tried to do like my other boys, my boyfriends, not my boyfriends, but my boyfriends would do, which was always try to talk to girls and all this other stuff. It always ended up with me getting beaten up by the girl. So
beaten up by the girl?
I don't know. Girls hated me. I swear to God, they hated me when I was a kid.
How did they beat you up?
I don't know. I felt like I always said the wrong thing.
And they beat you up?
One girl, I walked her home one time, and I thought it was okay to kiss her on the cheek at the door, so I kissed her on the cheek at the door, and her father got upset and called my parents, and they got upset, and I got grounded, and then she got in trouble. And then when I went to school the next day, she beat me up because I kissed her on the cheek.
Well.
Yeah. So I got beat up by her. And then I got beat up by another girl because she asked, and she was a big girl. She was a big girl. I don't mean no harm. But when I was 8, and this girl was way taller and way bigger than me.
Yeah.
And she beat the crap out of me because I told her I didn't want her to be my girlfriend because she wanted to be and asked me to be. I said no. And I said it because I didn't like girls. I had already had one bad experience with a girl. I was done.
You're tapped out.
I'm tapped out. I'm like, I'm just going to hang out with boys from now on because it's so much easier. Girls were way too complicated, and I did not want to deal with it.
I didn't hang out with no one in nowhere. Mm-hmm. I was so antisocial.
Mm-hmm. I was like the shy. When I was in elementary school, I was pretty shy, and we had been moving around a lot. And I didn't know how to talk to people a lot, so I kept to myself for the most part. I did have a couple of friends here and there in the neighborhood, but they were all boys, and oh my God, I loved hanging out with them because they were boys, and you know, boys
they do dirty things.
Boys can sometimes be really curious, so you know, normal stuff, but boys can sometimes be really curious, you know. So I knew I liked boys, but I wasn't quite sure. But it was my teenage years that was like. As soon as puberty hit, I was completely confused about everything. I was tall, skinny, and gangly. So I was, you know, like you, I did not fall into my looks, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Until I was older. Way older. I mean, way older. So, yeah, I didn't fall into my looks until I was way older. But I was just a skinny, 120-pound kid. I used to like to wear tight shorts and tube socks and try to get a Jerry curl once, and it just blew up into an afro. God damn it. You can wear an afro now. I get so mad at these kids now walking around here with afros and braids and everything else. But if I wore an afro when I was growing up, I got made fun of. And now I'm losing my hair. So, yeah. So the first time I came out was in high school. It was a friend of mine from my Spanish class. We used to love hanging out together. And she and I were hanging out, and I was like, is she my girlfriend? Are we just friends? I don't know what we are. So we went to a concert one time. She took me to my first concert, which was Depeche Mode. Great time. We smoked weed. First time I smoked weed. It was at Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion on the north side of town, which is an outdoor amphitheater. And we watched the concert and everything else and had a great time. And so we were hanging out at school one time, and I'm like, so are you like my girlfriend or something? She's like, no, you're gay. I'm not gay. She goes, yes, you are. You're gay. You're like super gay. And I'm like, okay. I think I might be. I'm not sure. She goes, no, you're gay. And that's okay she goes, that's okay if you are, but no, we're not dating. You're gay.
You're gay.
And I'm like, yeah, I might be. I'm really starting to think I am, because my dad would have conversations from the age of 14 on up every night. Joel, you know I love you. So if you're gay, and I'm like, I don't know what I am. Can you stop with the conversations?
Yeah, because sometimes they like try to make it come out before it actually is supposed to come out, and then you repress it.
I wasn't in high school. I'm going to be honest. I really wasn't interested in a lot of people. So I mean, I had my crushes. Alfonso Garcia, if you're out there, I had a huge crush on him. Sam Houston High School. Oh my God, he was beautiful. He played football. He talked to me because I was smart and he could copy off of me. And luckily, what really saved my life a bunch of times was my sense of humor. So, because I've always had a pretty good sense of humor. So I was able to like
dodge the bullet.
Yeah, dodge a bullet when it came to a lot of personal questions. So this and that, and I was able to hang out with the football players every now and then, and that kind of stuff. So and Alfonso Garcia used to wear his jeans super tight. So, and we took a drafting class together, so I could see over the drafting table when he would be talking to me. And drafting was my worst class. I hated that class.
Is it like drawing?
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's like architectural drawing.
Yeah.
Which I did not want that class. I so did not want that class. I wanted to be amazingly enough, I wanted to be in a drama class, but it was full. So I had to settle for drafting. And I didn't even know what drafting was. I'm like, I don't even know what this is. So, yeah. So it was a horrible time. Except for Alfonso Garcia, who sat right in front of me. And he would lean over and talk to me, and I could see his crotch right there. And I'm like,
hubba, hubba.
Hubba, hubba, hubba.
Hubba, hubba.
Mm-hmm. And then there was, I cannot remember his name. I'm not going to try to pronounce his name because he was Vietnamese. He was learning English, and I was teaching him English. And, dude, he was into me. And we used to hang out at the library because I would teach him English. And one time we were hanging out at the library, and his zipper was open, and I could see right down into his underwear. And, I mean, his zipper was open.
Wide open.
Wide open. And I always wondered if I knew it was on purpose, but I didn't know what the fuck to do because I'm like, I mean, there was heat. There was passion. But I never saw him again after that because I would meet him at the library all the time, and he stopped showing up one day, and I didn't know what happened to him. And I was really crushed because he was like, kind of like my first love, I think, kind of. So
That's
the first time I came
from him, the one that got away.
Mm-hmm. So the first time I came out was with Lucy. The second time I came out was with my parents, and I came out at 24. By the way, I'd already started living the gay life as soon as I got out of the house. But I moved in with my best friend at the time from high school.
Yeah.
Who I still hadn't come out to him yet, and I freaked out when I did because I didn't want him to like freak out about it. And then he kept sitting me up with girls, and I kept refusing or saying that I don't do that and blah 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 blah. And then when all his girls kept saying, I think he's gay. And one of the girls made me confront him. You're gay. You need to tell him you're gay. And I'm like, he's my best friend from high school. I can't tell him I'm gay. He'll just walk away. And I told him, and he moved out a week later.
Oh, wow. So,
and to this day, he says he moved out because, he comes up with a myriad of reasons, but I just found it odd that right around the time that I tell you I'm gay, you moved out.
Yep.
That week. So, yeah. So that turned into a disaster. And then I met my cousin Marcus, and he was super gay, but he was in the closet. And I'm like, wait a minute, but you're like super gay. And he's like, I'm not gay. I'm just an artist. And I'm like, okay, I guess if you're an artist, I was naive. I'm like, well, if you're an artist, you're an artist. Okay, so you're not gay. So when we started working together, he was like, well, people would be like, your cousin's gay, right? And I'm like, he's not gay. He's an artist. No, he's gay. I'm like, and Marcus has a very feminine shape. He has like this butt for days. I mean, like this huge butt, and he has kind of hips, so he kind of has a feminine shape to him. So whenever he would be in situations where he was bent over or something like that, men would sometimes mistake him for a woman from behind, and then they would be like shocked when he'd stand up, and I'm like, yeah. So he came out before me. He got caught at a bathhouse.
How did he get caught at a bathhouse?
One of my friends at the time.
The one over here?
No, he died. One of my friends at the time went to the same bathhouse, and no, first he went. I saw him at the bars, and I'm like, well, he's an artist. Straight guys go to the bars. Of course, this is the '90s. Straight guys didn't go to the bars by themselves. Yeah. So I'm like, he was probably just curious, and he's like, no, he's gay. And he goes, by the way, when are you going to tell people that you're gay? And I'm like, I'm not ready to, well, I had to tell my parents sooner or later. Yeah. So he goes, well, if Marcus comes out first, you have to tell your parents you're gay. And I'm like, okay, that's what I'll do. He runs into the motherfucker at a bathhouse. At a bathhouse. I'm like, Marcus, what were you doing at a bathhouse? Oh, well, nope, it's a bathhouse. You can't.
What were you doing there?
No, you can't tell me that you were curious and that you're an artist and all this. No, you can't tell me that. You were at a bathhouse. I know what happened.
Car ran-handed.
Uh-huh. So he came out to me, and I said, okay, well, if he came out, then I have to go tell my parents because I lost the bet. So I called them on the phone, and I came out to my stepmother first, who said that my grandmother already knew, and everybody in the family already knew, so no biggie. And when I called my mom, she was not thrilled. She was not thrilled. She just went, okay, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah. But I could tell she wasn't thrilled.
Yeah.
And so I just let it go. And then when my mom came to Houston and tried to hook me up with women, I'm like, I'm 100% gay. I do not like women. Yeah, I do not like women. It's never, well, she looked at you. She thought you were attractive. So what? She's attractive. Doesn't mean I want to get in her pants. I'm not gay. So it took her a while to get over it. But I think once I came out, I was like, out. I made sure everybody knew I was gay. That's the kind of gay I was at the time. There was no question about it. Even when people would, yeah, I made sure. And for a few years, when I would go visit my stepmom and my dad, she would always introduce me as her gay son. And at first I was like, oh, this is okay. But after a while I went,
just want to be your son.
This has been going on now for 10 years. I think it's time to go. By the time I reach my 30s, I'm like, no. You need to stop. I'm just Alan. Alan's my middle name. I'm just Alan. You don't have to do all of that stuff. If somebody wants to know my personal business, I'll tell them. But you don't have to do all that stuff. You need to stop, actually. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's my coming out story, and it was a little longer.
It was way more.
It was, yeah. Yeah, there was a lot involved.
There was a lot involved.
There was a lot involved. So basically, I've been coming out since I was 6.
Since you saw the first penis.
Since I saw the first penis.
The first uncut penis.
Mm-hmm. And I still remember to this day. It was uncut, and it had a little skin hanging off of it. And I think at that moment, I realized I didn't like uncircumcised penis for a long time. Until I actually saw one up close again years later, and I went, you know what?
That's bad.
I'm okay with this.
I'm okay with this. Mm-hmm. I'm fond of it.
Mm-hmm. I'm okay with this. Mm-hmm. That's when I really started to realize, you know what? Men are men. I like their penises. I don't really care.
I think all the guys that I've hooked up with have been uncircumcised in Houston. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've hooked up with a lot of Hispanic men who have been uncircumcised, and let me tell you, I have always been satisfied.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think I don't even care about their genders, because even white guys that I've hooked up with here are uncircumcised. I was like, good for you. Mm-hmm. Like a white man that's uncircumcised, come get it.
Mm-hmm. It's rare for me to run into an uncircumcised black guy. It's very rare.
Well, most of the guys that are from the Caribbean are. Like, what is it called? From the Jamaica, Bahamas.
Yeah, but I haven't run in.
I'm from South Florida, so it's right
yeah, well, yeah, there. But in Houston, Louisiana's very Catholic. I don't understand why that has anything to do with circumcision, but I have rarely run into a black guy who has been uncircumcised. Except for one time, one of my uncles from my stepmother's marriage, he was uncircumcised, but he was huge, and he had this gash. Some girl bit him, and she bit it off. She bit a piece of his skin off because he cheated on her. She bit a piece of his skin off, and it just looked gross, like right there on top of the head. And so he had all of this covering, and then he had that one part, like a big dent in it. And the first time I saw it, and I went,
"Why did you see his dick?"
Because he showed it to me several times. Because he was, "You're so gay. Look at my dick." Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, it's a dick. It's a big dick.
It's a big dick.
It's a big dick." I swear to God, if any of my family members hears that. Yeah, but he used to show me his dick all the time. So I'm like,
he's probably curious.
No, he was definitely into girls. He just wanted to
flash it.
He just liked to flash. He liked his dick a lot. He really did. He liked his dick. He was one of those guys who really liked, and he didn't mind showing it off.
Look,
He did not mind showing it off at all. So no, he liked his dick, except for that. Like I said, for that one time, he had. This fool during the whole AIDS thing. He caught 3 different venereal diseases during that because he would not wear a condom at all. And I'm like, I don't want to go anywhere near you. You got another venereal disease.
What do you got? Syphilis, gonorrhea, syphilis.
Syphilis, gonorrhea, and I think it was chlamydia one time. Oh, gross.
Girl, he was just living his best life.
He was living his. I mean, he would literally stick his dick in any girl, but he liked to show his dick off. He did. I don't know why he liked to show it to me a lot, but he did like. He liked to show it to me a lot. A lot. And his brother was the same way. His brother used to like cut holes in the mattress and stick his dick in it. And I'm like, what the fuck is that?
What are you doing? She just fucked the
He fucked the mattress. And I'm like, what about the springs and stuff?
Yeah, that sounds dangerous.
That sounds dangerous. I guess they like to live on the edge. I'm like,
I guess.
That's kind of weird.
That is weird.
But although I think they had foam mattresses, though. I think they did have foam mattresses, though.
I mean, yeah. I mean, whatever. To each their own.
Yeah, to each his own. But, you know, they're old, so it doesn't really matter. But they're older than me, so. But, yeah, so. That's what they used to like to do. And I'm like, okay. Okay. Wow. So that's National Coming Out Day.
In a nutshell.
Yeah. All I have to say about that is that however you chose to come out or not choose to come out when you feel comfortable.
When you're comfortable.
When you're comfortable, when you're ready.
Get out of the closet.
Don't let anybody force you
Myers.
to come out of the closet.
Except if it's Michael Myers.
Well, except for yes. That's the only, but that's a literal closet.
And make sure you have a wire hanger. So many cliches and everything in that.
I know, so many
wire hangers, getting in the closet, getting out of the closet, serial killers.
Oh, there's the one with what's the pedophile's name? Oh Lord, he did like a series of videos.
John Wayne Gacy?
No, the black guy, the singer. I Believe I Can Fly.
R. Kelly?
R. Kelly, yes. Did you not watch his closet? He did like it was a whole series.
I seen spoofs of it. It's like videos?
Yeah. He did like 3 different videos. Beginning, middle, and ending of I think somebody was having an affair and he was talking about keeping it in the closet and there was a little midget involved and I'm like, I don't understand what any of this is all about.
We should just watch it. Well, that should be next week's topic is just watching that crazy
I don't ever want to watch that ever again.
Is it long?
No. Yes, it's pretty long, but I watched it on VH1 and VH1 played all 3. And I said I would never watch it. And I meant it. I am never watching it again. I am never watching it. It was horrible. I was confused. I
think I remember seeing the midget thing.
I'm like, why is there a midget in this? What is going on? Oh my God. And, wait, I don't think midget is the proper term.
Our little people, sorry.
So
my apologies.
But that's what the term that they used at the time.
Little people.
So I think we're done.
I think we're done.
I think we're done.
We finished.
We're gonna have some guests on here shortly.
Yes, next week.
We're gonna have a special guest on next week.
We don't know who it is yet.
We don't know who it is.
Find out soon.
You'll find out soon.
1 week, 7 days.
In 7 days.
7 days.
This girl had a little bit of some kind of margarita wine thing. And she is all over the place.
Not really.
Not really. Although, please don't mention that Emily show because that girl, she will lose it.
Fuck you, Emily.
Fuck you, Emily.
Her name is like Emily Connors or something. Like, goodbye.
You really got into this show. How many episodes?
One. Not even the first one. Not even. I was like, I'm over it.
I don't think there's been very many things. I have this annoying habit that once I start something, even if it's really bad, I must finish it.
I have that same habit too, but that was ridiculous.
And there've only been a couple of times, and don't ask me to remember the name of them because I don't ever want to remember them again. But there have been a couple of times this is a guy who sat through 2.5 hours of John Carter.
Oh, God.
John Carter, the world's most boring movie. You know, that was the only movie that I've ever watched where I had no feelings about the movie at the end, except I was
glad
bored.
It's over.
I didn't even think glad I was over. I was like, this is the most boring thing I ever watched. I can't believe that you had all the stuff right there that you could have made this a huge blockbuster, and it was the most boring thing I'd ever watched. I have no feelings.
No feelings.
So, everything else, if I really hate a movie, there's emotion involved. I really hated this. I never want to watch this again. But with John Carter, there was absolutely no emotion because there was absolutely no emotion in the entire movie. But that's how boring this. I mean, I wanted to like the characters. I wanted to like the whole sci-fi setup. And it, like I said, it had all the parts that could have made it good, but none of it worked.
Yeah.
And it was Disney's biggest flop ever.
John Carter?
John Carter.
I don't even know what that is.
You don't want to know. Never watch
I'll
it.
probably watch the trailer. That's
Never watch it. It used to be on Netflix. Don't look for it. Don't try to find it.
It's probably on Disney Plus. Okay, I won't look for it.
I don't even think Disney Plus would. I think Disney Plus has the sense enough to say no. We're not going. No. I'd rather put Song of the South out than put John Carter.
Oh, not Song of the South.
Yeah, exactly. That's how bad John Carter is. Right. Yeah. So
next week we'll have a guest. We'll have better alcohol.
Will we?
Or coffee.
Or coffee.
Or coffee with alcohol.
Okay. Or coffee with alcohol or coffee without. I don't know. It usually depends.
Depends on.
I'm gonna have to go on a cleanse here soon. Because girl, I've been tying it up a little bit too much. So I'm gonna have to go on a cleanse. It's time to cleanse the body here. I'm taking my milk thistle to keep my liver, doing its thing, and
my liver wants to be replaced.
Girl, you were 26. If your liver needs to be replaced now,
she's done a lot. She's done way too much. Girl.
Well, you do work at a bar.
Period. I am the bar.
Okay, let's end this shit show by saying that we had a good time.
We had a good time. We had a lovely time.
We had a lovely time.
We had a splendid time.
And by the way, if you're watching on Growler, because some of you are, I'm also on here. He's using my iPad so he could be the center of attention on Growler. Look at him. He's just smiling at the thing. So I'm going to have to learn how to set it up so we could both be on Growler.
At the same time.
Because I want some dick too.
Oh, I love me some dick.
Girl, you like everything. We out of here.
On that note,
we'll see you next week.